the apocalypse arrived and the world mutated. My bestie and I became rare surviving human females. After being captured, I was picked by the Nether Fire Corpse King who awakened fire abilities. And within a year, I gave birth to a little zombie king with exceptional talent. Later, the territory continuously expanded. The Nether Fire Corpse King dominated the region, and I became the most honored woman in the apocalypse. Meanwhile, my bestie followed the Water Ghost Corpse King who awakened water abilities, and before long, she was killed by other Corpse Kings who seized her territory. She became a captive again, went through several zombie hordes and suffered greatly, finally being rescued by me. But instead of being grateful, she became insanely jealous and pushed me off a tall building. I dragged her down to die with me, starting a new life, returning to the day when spoils were being distributed. My bestie actively threw herself into his arms, embracing the Nether Fire Corpse King covered in flame totems. Seeing her malicious smile, I smiled too. Finally, I can leave that fiery pit. Some fool is really jumping into it. The roars of zombies filled my ears, and I suddenly woke up, realizing I had been reborn to the day I was captured by the zombie horde. At this moment, my bestie Ella ran past me quickly, heading towards the tall Corpse King whose face and body were covered in flame totems. Choose me, Nether Fire Corpse King. I can have children for you. I was stunned. She really dared to say that, considering the height difference of double. In the previous life, she was terrified of that Corpse King who was twice her size. When the Nether Fire Corpse King looked over, she pushed me out without hesitation, not afraid of death this time, daring to throw herself into my arms. Meeting her malicious gaze, I suddenly realized she had also reincarnated just like me. Not long after Ella followed that Water Ghost Corpse King, the zombie horde was swallowed by other Corpse Kings. She was passed around several zombie hordes and treated as a plaything by the Corpse Kings, tortured to the point of being battered and bruised, and I finally saved her. I didn't expect her to be consumed by jealousy behind my back and push me off a tall building when I wasn't paying attention. After reincarnating, she wanted to seize the initiative, thinking that by snatching the Nether Fire Corpse King, she could become the most noble woman in the apocalypse. I secretly chuckled. Did she really think it was that easy to be the corpse mother? The Nether Fire Corpse King seemed very interested in her initiative, lifting her with one hand and placing her on his shoulder. Then it'll be her. Ella used to study dance. Her figure and face were indeed striking. I just don't know if her physique could handle it. Her eyes flashed with surprise, and the way she looked at me was full of triumph. She said with lip sync, "This good life was originally mine, and now it's time to return it to me." Setting aside her confidence, I really didn't plan to fight her for it. She only saw the bright and beautiful side of me living well, but didn't know how hard the days behind the scenes were. I smiled at her. Since she wanted to jump into a fiery pit, I'll let her have this good life. We used to be best friends, and after the apocalypse, this good, for nothing lived on thanks to me. I didn't say anything to her face, but that doesn't mean I didn't know about her sneaky little moves behind my back. She'd secretly skimp on my food and make me block zombies when they came, under the guise that I knew karate and could handle myself. In this apocalypse, I lost all my family, and only the two of us were left, which is why I tolerated her. Under my protection, she enjoyed the perks while secretly being jealous and plotting. And now she wants to snatch away my chance to live and have me die for her. She even gestured to the Water Ghost Corpse King, saying, "I have a best friend, Song Yu, who's healthy and fertile. Pick her instead." Water Ghost Corpse King. Her eyes showed eagerness, wishing I'd go through all the hardship she had endured. As soon as she pushed me down the stairs, our friendship ceased to exist. I rolled my eyes, and before the Water Ghost Corpse King could speak, I chose his second command. "Can I go with the second boss?" The Water Ghost Corpse King was simple, minded and strong, not exactly good looking, like a lump of iron, but he valued brotherhood and wouldn't fight his subordinates over a woman. He just asked me dumbly, "Why choose him over me?" I pretended to be scared and carefully replied, "Because the second boss's build is a better match for me." As soon as I said that, the Water Ghost Corpse King burst out laughing. "Too big to handle. Ha ha ha. Then you can go with the second brother. You can say that again. It's a real pain when the models don't match." That's from experience. The second, in command of the Water Ghost Corpse King horde, was a newly recruited wandering powerhouse, who made a great contribution in clearing out another horde this time. His physique didn't inflate too much after the corpse transformation. Only a tiny bit taller than a normal human, not even 2 meters tall, and he looked quite human, except for the purple, gold patterns all over his face. He wasn't that scary. The more human, like a zombie's appearance is after corpse transformation, the more humanity and intelligence they retain. I used to study the elites in these hordes. His abilities were no less than other corpse kings. If he hadn't been calculated against, injured, and then chased to death by other hordes, he would have had a chance to dominate in the future. I've had enough of living precariously as a plaything. Men can't be relied on, and male zombies are even less reliable. This time, I want to carve out a new path for myself. The zombies who retained some humanity all chuckled lowly when they understood. And the second, in command's expression turned ugly. After all, no man would feel it's an honor to be chosen because of his small size. He was rough with me, just throwing me over his shoulder like a sack. His sharp claws even tore the skin on my thigh. After smelling the blood, he perversely stuck out his tongue and licked it. The sensation was chillingly cold. I suppressed the feeling of disgust and calmed myself down. I've endured worse than this, so this is nothing. Ella looked at me with eyes full of contempt and mockery, as if looking at a dead person. That's right, in her opinion, the second one I chose now is not as good as the Water Ghost King she chose back then. Anyway, no matter what, I can't escape being captured again, nor can I escape the same tragic fate as hers. Unfortunately, I won't be as stupid as her. With a brain the size of a walnut, what else can she think of besides relying on others to live? This city originally had 4 corpse kings, and after today, only 3 are left. Now it is occupied and divided into 3 parts by the 3 corpse kings. The remaining survivors were also divided into 3 groups, separated by gender. Men become blood bags and food, while women become playthings and tools for reproduction. After turning into zombies, their fertility is greatly reduced, making surviving human women highly sought after. It has been more than a year since the apocalypse, and there are very few women among the survivors. The second one is very unhappy with me because of that distorted understanding of his body shape, and I don't know how he will deal with me. Their base is a former 5-star hotel, which is now occupied by the Water Ghost Corpse King. I was thrown onto the soft big bed. I haven't slept in such a comfortable bed for a long time, and I almost fell asleep. The man with the purple totem on his face, oh no, the male corpse, pressed down on me fiercely. Body shape matching, right? Let's see if it matches now. They said it was a match, but he was just a little shorter than those 2 big guys. He had all the muscles he should have, and his height was almost 2 meters. It really didn't match my 1.65 meters. I don't know why he's so self-conscious. Even though he's turned into a zombie, I could only roll my eyes inwardly and try to appease him. It's better to yield to a stronger opponent. No, that's not what I meant. I'm just afraid of pain. I really didn't mean you're small. Hearing this again, the second one gritted his teeth so hard he looked like he wanted to eat me. He actually bit my shoulder. I was stunned at that moment because I was sure from the start that I was going to be a breeding tool, so I thought he wouldn't dare to bite. Getting scratched wouldn't infect me, but being bitten would definitely turn me into a zombie. It's hard to find a female zombie with 2 legs, but human women with 2 legs are very rare. Just when I thought I was going to become a mentally challenged little zombie, he suddenly let go. There were only shallow teeth marks on my shoulder, and the skin wasn't broken. He gnashed his teeth and resentfully called out my name. Song Yu, it's the apocalypse, and you're still so cheeky. I don't think I've ever told him my name. Even if I'm the squad leader of the survivors, I shouldn't be so famous that the horde knows me well. Meeting his cool, distant eyes, a handsome, ascetic face overlapped with the second one in front of me. With a carp flip, I gave him a bear hug, tears of emotion streaming down my face. I didn't expect to meet someone I knew here. Sob sob. I'm so touched to see you again. Senior, you'll protect me, right? A man's slightly mocking chuckle came from the side. Song Yu, you didn't say that back then. Well, it is a bit fake. Before he turned into a zombie, he was a senior in the finance department. named Lu Yi, and he was also the Sonda champion of this city. Back then, I bragged to people that I could knock down a skinny guy like Lu Yi with one punch. I also said that he didn't look very capable, and that I wouldn't want him even if he was given to me. Actually, it's sour grapes because he rejected my confession and humiliated me. At this moment, I feel ashamed of my ugly face in the past. I thought I had considered everything, but I didn't expect to choose an enemy. We couldn't stand each other when we were human, and now that we've become zombies, will I have a good life if I fall into his hands? But I didn't get to sleep with him before, so it's not a loss even if I do now. That's what I thought. But in reality, he hates me, and he wouldn't want me even if I was the only woman left in the world. He looked at my death, defying appearance mockingly, and then threw me to the ground. I need a nanny, and I hope you have the self-awareness of a nanny. Otherwise, you'll be a blood bag. The damage is not great, but the insult is extremely strong. Fortunately, I have no dignity left, so I'll be a nanny. But before the end of the world, there was a rumor at school that he liked Ella. After the Water Ghost Corpse King died, the corpse group was swallowed up, and I learned that the second in command of the corpse group could escape on his own. But he was willing to get injured to save Ella, and finally sacrificed himself. I didn't understand it before, but now that I know the second in command is Lu Yi, things seem to make more sense. He didn't have a chance when Ella followed the Water Ghost Corpse King, and now that she's following the Nether Flame Corpse King, he has even less of a chance. I think he's blind to like a scheming little green tea like Ella, but if that's the case, I might have one more reason to persuade him to join forces. But Lu Yi was very harsh to me, to the point of disgust, and treated me purely like a dog, so I haven't dared to get close to him yet. After Ella and I were chosen, there was one more woman left, who was traded for other spoils by the Water Ghost Corpse King. The woman's name is Julia. She studies karate like me, and we were in the same dorm in college. If it weren't for her in the survivor team, I would have been killed by that liability Ella long ago. Actually, I had this ulterior motive when I chose the second in command, with the Water Ghost Corpse King's current ability surpassing the other Corpse King. If I follow the second in command, he will definitely want another woman. This way, Julia and I can both be in this corpse group, and we will have a reliable helper. She was assigned to the third corpse group at first, and was tormented to death not long after. After she died, she was also eaten as food, whether it's out of cooperation or friendship. I want to save her once. As for Ella, let her show off. When she gets to the zombie horde, she'll know how tough things will be. That Nether Flame Corpse King was half a head taller than the Water Ghost Corpse King, with a body of strong muscles. It looked like it had an 8-pack and a perfect physique, and its face wasn't ugly either. But the huge size difference could cost her her life. That thing is more painful than giving birth. Besides, the Nether Flame Corpse King only retains a small part of its humanity, is very vicious. How good could it be to her? As for why I didn't choose a third Corpse King, it's because that was the force that originally annexed the Water Ghost Corpse King's horde. The ability that Corpse King awakened was to release venom that could paralyze people. It relied entirely on sneak attacks when fighting, fierce and insidious, actually not very capable, and would later be annexed by other hordes. Besides this city, there are many surrounding zombie hordes. Mainly the Poison King Turtle's appearance is really hard to describe. Green from dying of poisoning, like moldy seaweed, and it had a triangular head, beady green eyes, and a beastly nature. Julia didn't survive more than a few days in his hands back then. When Ella later fell into his hands, she suffered greatly. The Poison King Turtle didn't say anything when we left, just smiled sinisterly. He had no objection to the allocation of the only 3 women, because he had long been planning to annex other zombie hordes, and obtaining all the spoils of war was only a matter of time. In his past life, he did succeed. When the Nether Flame Corpse King was expanding his territory, he took the opportunity to sneak attack the Water Ghost Corpse King's zombie horde. But with me here this time, his plan is likely to fail. The Water Ghost Corpse King isn't too bad. He's quite simple-minded. He wants to reproduce, and he wasn't too harsh on Ella back then. So as long as Julia doesn't resist or anger him, she won't be in mortal danger for now. In the more than a year since the apocalypse, our pride has long been worn down. Survival is paramount. Julia's situation is okay. Her aunt is her biological aunt, and she came to visit at a critical moment, thus escaping danger. The water ghost is a real man. Even after turning into a zombie, he still retains a bit of gentlemanly demeanor. When I told Julia about Lu Yi and the second one, her expression was hard to describe. She knows about the feud between Lu Yi and me. I cursed him for several days in the dorm back then. He used to be a senior, but in this situation, even a biological brother wouldn't be useful. In the apocalypse, humanity has long been extinguished. Then I mentioned that the poison king turtle would come to sneak attack soon. Of course, I said it in a speculative tone. We'll have a chance to escape then. Julia worried that we wouldn't be able to escape and still hoped I could talk things over with Lu Yi. So that night, I sneaked to the bedside. Before I could even speak, I was pinned to the bed like a suckling pig. After Lu Yi turned into a zombie, he became an agile type. He was as fast as lightning, and I was like a weakling in front of him. What? Want a match? I was pinned by him, rolling my eyes. My neck grabbed. Not really. I just asked if you want to get Ella, face down. I couldn't see his expression. His tone carried a hint of amusement. Continue. I immediately saw an opening and quickly said, that poison king turtle might come for a sneak attack recently. You can play along. After taking down the poison king turtle and expanding your corpse horde, then annex the Nether Fire Corpse King's territory, and then get Ella back. And with your competitive nature, you wouldn't be content to always be a subordinate, right? He squeezed my neck forcefully. Say, little again and see what happens. Okay. I surrender with my hands up. Slip of the tongue. You consider it. He suddenly leaned in, his icy breath hitting my neck. What do you want? Before I wanted him. Now I want to live. You get Ella and status. I get protection and freedom. How about it? Unhindered within your corpse horde's territory. Absolutely safe. That's not asking too much, right? Lu Yi tightened his grip. Don't you have any bigger ambitions? I was afraid he'd bite, so I shook my head repeatedly. No way, no way. Just surviving is the biggest wish. He stood up and left, sounding a bit cold. Then as you wish. I didn't expect him to be so easily persuaded, not questioning anything about the poison king turtle. It saved me the trouble of explaining. I couldn't exactly say I was reborn, could I? Being in the same city, it wasn't hard to know about Ella. The corpse horde had specialized intelligence officers and information channels. I heard the Nether Flame Ghost King really likes her. After going back, she hasn't gotten out of bed these past few days. She's already pregnant after just over a month. A little earlier than I was. I admire her strong willpower. I used to think she couldn't endure hardship, but now I know she can truly endure it. She only sees that I gained status after giving birth to my child, but she doesn't know that this is just the beginning of the suffering. Back then, I was the same as her, suffering pain and torment every day. Only in the later stages of pregnancy did the Nether Flame Corpse King restrain himself a bit, because by then I had been tormented by the child in my womb to the point of being unrecognizable. With any further abuse, I could have lost my life at any moment. The little Corpse King needs a lot of nutrients to grow, which I, as a human, cannot provide. Every day I'm forced to eat raw meat and blood packs from various animals or my own kind to get nutrition. The child's growth is immense pain for me. Its size, far exceeding that of ordinary children, almost ripped my belly open, which is now covered in horrifying veins. I can even feel the child's sharp nails wildly probing inside, ready to break out of my belly at any moment. Later, I finally gave birth to a half-human, half-corpse child. In the end times, with a lack of medicine, I experienced over a month of complicated infection and fever. If it weren't for a doctor in the blood pack who gave me an 4-drip and medication under limited conditions, I probably would have died from infection after giving birth. Ella still thinks that following the Nether Flame Corpse King will make her life easier than mine. How naive. Even if she survives childbirth, does she think a good life will come then? No, the real hell mode is just beginning. The status she wants was all earned with blood and tears. You have to give as much as you gain, right? The pain she's going through now is no less than what I went through back then. Ella is pregnant, and Julia is more affected. Children born to humans have a chance to awaken stronger mutant abilities, which means the entire zombie horde can improve. The 3 zombie hordes are only superficially harmonious now, and could swallow each other up at any moment. The Nether Flame Corpse King has offspring. The Water Ghost Corpse King is eager to have children. And Julia is having a tough time. That guy over 2 meters tall with bulging muscles could easily tear a person in half. Her 1.7-meter height can't stand up to it, and I don't have a better way, because the pressure is now on me. Upon learning that Lu Yi still hadn't touched me, the Water Ghost Corpse King put pressure on him. Women are rare commodities now. If you don't use them, don't waste them. Give them to other brothers. Lu Ye's eyes were icy as he pulled me into his embrace, in a protective stance. Who says I'm not using her? I'm afraid this little weakling will die, so I'm raising her first. He really holds a grudge. The moment I was thrown onto the bed, he coldly asked me, "Do you want to sleep with me or with other zombies? Choose yourself." Does that even need asking? How can those ugly zombies compare to him? If I have to choose one, of course I'll choose him. Seeing me point my finger over, he sneered and unbuttoned his shirt with one hand, approaching step by step. "You only choose me when you have no other choice. What do you mean? Back then and now." He never gave me a chance to choose either. Later, he forced me to apologize all night, retracting my earlier statement that he was a weakling. Well, that should be something that got stronger after turning into a zombie. I only dared to whisper and complain, not say it out loud. Since then, no other zombies have bothered me. Everything has its pros and cons. I don't know who actually lost out, but I definitely didn't lose by sleeping with my crush. Finally, the day came for the Poison King Turtle to make his move. He claimed to have captured new survivors and came to form an alliance with the Water Ghost Corpse King. In my past life, that big guy's brain was no bigger than a peanut. He had no idea this was a trap. The Poison King Turtle poisoned the blood bag, paralyzed it, and then twisted its head off alive. This time, I don't know if Lu Yi communicated with the Water Ghost Corpse King. But in any case, he wouldn't be without any defense. Julia and I were ready to run. After all, we didn't know who would win, so we had to ensure our safety first. While they were fighting up ahead, I rode my fully fueled motorcycle with her, revving the throttle to the max, and sped away. On the deserted Hengjiang Bridge, a red motorcycle, like a red lightning bolt, chased after us. Beneath the red helmet were a pair of clear, restrained eyes. In that moment, I felt like I was seeing the spirited Lu Yi of the past. Silently gave him the middle finger and sped past. I swear it was completely subconscious. I do this every time someone overtakes me. Of course, Lu Yi didn't listen when I explained, and Zhang Rui and I were caught again. Good news, although the Water Ghost Corpse King is dead. Lu Yi killed the Poison King Turtle and became the Corpse King of 2 corpse hordes. Bad news, he hates me even more now. He always grabs my neck at those moments and asks me, "Do you really like giving the middle finger?" Yeah, I do, and I'll do it again. Even though he's not human, at least life is a little better than before, and I can tolerate it. After all, he has the halo of a white moonlight, and I feel like I'm getting a great deal. Next, Lu Yi plans to take down the Nether Flame Corpse King, possibly because he can't wait to get Ella back. I have to admit, I'm a little jealous, but it's not a loss. I got to taste it anyway. Even if Ella comes back, she'll only get my leftovers. But now is not the time to act. Back then, the Poison King Turtle and the Water Ghost fought and both were injured. The Poison King Turtle, who barely won, had to retreat to recuperate. Now they've easily taken down the Poison King Turtle. Although their strength has increased, the Nether Flame Corpse King is even stronger. I followed the Nether Flame Corpse King for 3 years and know his strength. It's not worth the risk now. I know you're in a hurry, but don't rush. Let's expand our strength a bit more. Now the Nether Flame Corpse King is busy expanding its territory everywhere. Unlike him, who's driven by love. Lu Yi raised an eyebrow at me, then agreed. So we're just putting Ella aside for now. I thought he would go all out and charge in. During those months when he was desperately expanding his power, I followed him around. He was very careful not to get me pregnant. Although he couldn't remain chaste for Ella, he insisted on his final bottom line. Before long, news came that Ella had given birth to a little corpse king, a talented little thing. I heard she had it even worse than I did. it wasn't a smooth delivery. The baby literally tore through her belly. Fortunately, there was a doctor there who gave her timely treatment. Otherwise, she would have definitely died. But there was no time for anesthetic, and they sewed her up. Just hearing about it gave me goosebumps. Lu Yi became very somber after hearing the news. The big pig trotters were unhappy. I comforted him. There's only one last big corpse horde left. We'll annex it before the Nether Fire Corpse King. And then we can go find your Ella. He gave me a look, and took the corpse horde out to work. He's really impatient. Annexing other corpse hordes and subjugating capable underlings requires strength and time. Lu Yi sustained many injuries, but he also became more formidable. Julia and I became the logistics team, and we took the opportunity to collect a lot of food and medicine. Even if we leave then, within Lu Ye's jurisdiction, we can still live very comfortably. As for the grievances with Ella, I wanted to kill her, but Lu Yi likes her. If I kill her, he'll kill me too. It's not worth it. Latest news. When we annexed the last corpse horde nearby, Ella also survived tenaciously, but what awaited her was not a good life after hardship, but a descent into a deeper hell. The corpse horde needed more strong combat power, and as a breeding tool, she had no respite. Having 2 children in 3 years was a luxury. She had to produce 1 child with high output annually. When the Minghuo Wang Nether Flame King was busy expanding his territory, his strong subordinates would take over this task. It didn't matter whose child it was, as long as it could become a force for the corpse horde. So, as soon as Ella recovered after giving birth, she was caught in the cycle of having her second child, and the father of the child could be anyone, as long as they were strong. At this point, she finally realized how foolish her choice was. The glamour she once saw was all built on blood and tears, but she didn't think her choice was wrong. It was just that the Water Ghost Corpse King was too stupid and was taken down so quickly. However, I have to admit that the few months following the Water Ghost Corpse King were the best times she had since the apocalypse. What made her most uncomfortable was probably that she was now in hell, and I was not as miserable as she had imagined. I didn't become spoils of war for various corpse hordes, nor did I suffer the hardships she had endured. She also didn't get the chance to see me kneeling at her feet, begging for salvation. I became the second in command of another powerful corpse horde, strategizing and making a name for myself in the apocalypse with my strength. Not living a lowly and pitiful life is the greatest torment for her. After clearing out the last group of zombies nearby, confronting the Nether Fire Corpse King is inevitable. During the break, I was cleaning the wounds on Lu Ye's body that healed on their own. Feeling complicated, I'm ready to run away. I can't stand seeing him and Ella happy. So out of sight, out of mind. Not killing Ella is my last indulgence towards my Moonwhite. That night, Lu Yi held me and said, "After we take down the last zombie horde, will you have a child with me?" In a daze, I couldn't distinguish between reality and dreams. Anyway, I was so scared that I had nightmares all night. The two forces did clash. The Nether Fire Corpse King possesses fire abilities that restrain other Corpse Kings. Fire can kill zombies, giving him a huge advantage. He once burned down a city before settling here, but I followed him for so long that I know his weakness. His neck is white and slender. Once, I accidentally scratched his neck with my fingernails, and he dealt with me harshly. After that, I never dared to touch it again. The Nether Fire Corpse King controls flames and is invincible at range. Once you get close, he's trash. Despite being so big, he's actually quite slow and doesn't know any martial arts. And Lu Yi can use his hand combat skills and speed advantage to attack his vital spot. A gentle twist is all it takes to get a Corpse King's head. The Nether Fire Corpse King knows his shortcomings, so he always hides behind the zombie horde and uses fire, surrounded by several tall bodyguards, protecting against surprise attacks. Even knowing his shortcomings and weaknesses, the difficulty of this mission is very high. Lu Yi stepped into the zombie horde with determined eyes. I couldn't stop him from running towards someone else's footsteps. A little sad, Julia patted my shoulder as a gesture of comfort, her eyes full of sympathy. It's the apocalypse, and I'm still acting like a simp. Truly pathetic. From atop a tall building, I watched the dense, biting zombie horde below, searching for that familiar figure. watching him gradually cross the zombie horde towards the Nether Fire Corpse King's location. I provided him with intel over the headset, following the route I planned. He avoided many obstacles and quietly flanked the enemy from behind, transforming into a white lightning bolt. He appeared above the Nether Fire Corpse King's head and directly strangled him, taking his head. Without the Corpse King's control, the zombie horde descended into chaos. Lu Yi let out a soul-stirring roar, causing all the zombies to bow their heads in submission. He is the last king. As for the remaining defiant little trash, I'll just beat them into submission. No big deal. Julia and I were busy collecting supplies and counting survivors. I have to say, the Nether Fire Corpse King was truly wealthy. The resources he possessed are enough for me to live a lifetime. Then I can just grow my own vegetables, raise some chickens, ducks, and geese, and live a simple life, right? Alright, and I definitely need to take that doctor with me, so I won't have to worry about minor ailments in the future. After finding the doctor, I saw Ella. She was disheveled, gaunt, and covered in bloodstains. The moment she saw me, her eyes held only intense hatred. Song Yu, why does the scale of fate always tip in your favor? I gestured for 2 zombies to carry her away. She can't get what she wants, and I can't have what I think of. Who is fate really favoring? I glanced at her indifferently. Why not ask yourself if you deserve fate's favor? Even with a good hand, you can play it into ruin. You deserve this outcome. This is what you earned. She was forever dissatisfied, ungrateful, and malicious, even if she didn't treat me as a friend, and instead cooperated sincerely and helped each other like Julia. She wouldn't have ended up like this. Ella still hasn't repented, and she kept shouting insults all the way. Song Yu, you won't have it any better than me, I cried. Not from her insults, but from a sense of injustice. Damn it. Lu Yi likes this kind of trash and doesn't like me. It makes me so angry. I had the zombies take Ella to Lu Yi, and then, with Julia, we packed up and left. We also took the doctor with us and chose a southern area with a farm, which was very suitable for living. A few days later, we got settled and started clearing the land to plant vegetables, and we also fenced off an area for raising poultry. The doctor's name was Silas, a fair-skinned, 1.8-meter handsome guy. Working with the opposite sex makes it less tiring. With him around, our efficiency has improved significantly. Lu Yi really is heartless. After leaving for so many days, he hasn't even asked about me once. After Zhang Luo returned, the tool became irrelevant. After being upset for a few days, I gradually came to my senses. Humans and corpses go their separate ways. We're not compatible, but I didn't expect them to suddenly come looking for me together. The black SUV stopped at the farm entrance. Zhang Luo was in a white dress, no longer looking as disheveled as before, although it looked intact on the surface. The inside was completely ruined. She approached Lu Yi, smiling meaningfully. See, I told you she's already with another man. Even though she's barking nonsense, I don't want to explain. Aren't you guys together too? I'm free now, and I don't even have a proper title with Lu Yu. So what if I'm with someone? I frowned irritably. This is my territory. Lu Yi won't go back on his word, right? Take your woman and get lost. Seeing her makes me sick. Zhang Luo's face changed, and she couldn't control her voice. How dare you speak to me like that? Who do you think you are? If it weren't for Lu Ye's protection, you would have become a plaything for other corpse kings long ago. What are you so proud of? I calmly retorted. I don't know who was carried out after being played with. I've only slept with your man. Her face turned green, and I felt extremely refreshed. Lu Yi didn't say anything, just frowned deeper and deeper. Julia and Silas also didn't dare to speak up. After all, humans these days have to watch their expressions around them. Lu Yi looked at Chun Rui with a very unfriendly gaze. You abandoned me for him. I got even more annoyed. Come on. Even if you became a corpse king, you can't have a harem, right? Your Ella would be unhappy. Why do you care who I'm with? He looked at Ella, who was looking at Eilina with expectant tenderness, and disgustedly moved his eyes away. He continued to ask me, I'm just asking if you want to be with him. I got angry. Yes. His face sank. He sneered and went up to Chen Rui, grabbing him by the neck. Now your man is about to die. Go back with me, and I'll let him go. Chen Rui's face was full of, are you crazy? Julia was also very upset. The two of them had just started to hit it off. Meeting Ella's nervous expression, my masochistic tendencies kicked in, and I decisively nodded. Fine, I'll go back. Ella was furious and glared at me the whole way, wishing she could bore holes through me with her eyes. I grinned at her. What are you looking at me for? He asked me to go back. So go find him if you have a problem. Ella just snorted and didn't say anything. Coward. After we got back, Louis dropped Ella and took me back to the room we had stayed in before, bullying me as if to vent his anger. Song you always hated me before, and now seeing me like this, you hate me even more, right? No matter who you choose, you won't choose me. In your eyes, am I that bad? I just can't accept it. I'm not even human anymore, and I don't want to act like a human either. I'll never let you go in this lifetime. I listened and felt something was off. No, what do you mean I hate you? Don't you hate me? I said I liked you, and you said I was trash and unworthy. Plus, you liked Ella, and you wanted to conquer the world for her. What's with the sudden deep affection? He grabbed my collar and sat me up, looking confused. What have you been spouting nonsense about from the beginning? Isn't Ella your best friend? When did you ever say you liked me? And when did I ever say you were unworthy? I worked my ass off expanding my territory because you wanted a stable life. What does she have to do with it? What do you mean you dumped her on me and ran off? And you and that Silas. Suddenly, a light bulb went off in my head, and I had a moment of clarity. Damn it, Ella, that bitch, actually set me up. Before the apocalypse, I confessed to Lu Yi on the radio. After I finished, I excitedly went out to find him for his response. It was Ella who handed me his letter, saying Lu Yi thought trash like me wasn't worthy. The handwriting on it really did look like Lu Ye's. Back then, I trusted Ella completely and never doubted her. The whole school would have been embarrassed by something like this, and confessing took all my courage. I didn't dare to question Lu Yi. Later, I badmouthed Lu Yi, and, well, he overheard me on the spot. We pretty much became enemies. Then, rumors started spreading throughout the school that Lu Yi liked Ella as her best friend. I gave up on my feelings from then on. Who knew all of this was Ella, that damn thing, twisting the truth. I asked Lu Yi, did you ever have Ella pass on a message? He raised an eyebrow. She told me your confession was because you lost a game of truth or dare. I told her to tell you that it can be true. So what did she say to you? I gritted my teeth. She said you called me trash and unworthy, and told me to stay away from you from now on. Lu Ye's expression was priceless. You could tell he really wanted to kill someone. He latched onto Chen Rue. Then what about you and Chen Rue? I told him the truth. He's a doctor, and you don't need one, so I brought him along just in case. Besides, Chen Rue and Julia are a couple. Don't try to play matchmaker. Lu Yi breathed a sigh of relief and suddenly got up to leave. I quickly followed him out. What are you going to do? He said sinisterly. I'm going to settle things with Ella. She told me you eloped with Chen Rue. Fine, fine. Stabbing me in the back again and again. I'll kill that little brat. Turns out Ella ran off after I looked for her everywhere. And Lu Yi was looking for her all over the world. He wouldn't rest until he got that out of his system. I called her a coward. And when I returned to the bedroom, I found she had turned into a zombie and was standing in the room, sneering at me, looking at the blue and white totem on her face. She must have stolen a corpse crystal from the water ghost Corpse King and eaten it. Every zombie who awakens special abilities has a corpse crystal in their body. Swallowing it directly is very risky. You could explode and die. I have to say she's lucky. How did all the good things happen to her? She lunged at me with a vicious look. Song Yu, go die. This time, she pushed me out the window again. But I didn't forget to pull her with me. Then let's die together. It's not the first time anyway. The dagger in my hand also slashed her a few times. This is something I've wanted to do to her for a long time. It's a shame the damage wasn't very effective. She froze for a moment, then quickly recovered. She laughed wildly. All right, you've been reborn too. But this time I'm a zombie. Can't die. Rest assured. You die. I will stay with Lu Yi in the apocalypse. You'll never be able to snatch me away. Her body became transparent like water, able to merge with anything and not be killed by falls. I'm so angry. I still lost. I'm so unwilling. Seeing my despairing expression, the malice on Zhang Luo's face gradually intensified. You don't know yet, Lu Yi died saving me in the last life. He loved me. I sneered and exposed her lie. Please, the only reason he risked his life to save you was because you are my friend. Can you stop having delusions all the time? At that time, the zombie horde of the Water Ghost Corpse King was annexed by the Poison King Turtle. Lu Yi risked injury to save Zhang Luo only because she and I were once so close we wore the same pants. Back then, Lu Yi and I had misunderstandings because of Zhang Luo, and there was only resentment between us. But he still didn't ignore my friend. Fortunately, this time the misunderstanding is finally cleared up. If I could have a second chance, I would definitely make a move and kill Zhang Luo, this ungrateful wretch. First, it's a shame heaven won't give me another chance, because he has already given me the best Lu Yi. Silver lightning struck instantly, and the whirlwind kicked Zhang Luo away. He held me and landed steadily, his eyes full of lingering fear. Ella's eyes were filled with venom, and she turned into a mist of water and lunged. Then you can all go die. Die, my ass. She's a useless show. Lu Yi punched her back into her original form, and I countered with a body slam. Ella pulled out a fruit knife and stabbed at me. I grabbed her wrist, broke it, and stabbed her back. Then I choked her, and under her terrified gaze, I forcefully snapped her neck. All my grievances with her were settled at this moment. Lu Yi watched and swallowed. I admit, I'm a weakling. I can't beat you. I hope we can live in harmony and friendship in the future. Yeah. I believe we will live in harmony and friendship in the future.